Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, the artist Kali. You're not rocking with the homegirl, Gena Heelz, on Life and Entertainment. Yeah, this life and entertainment. This life, let them take a picture and frame it. That's right, this ain't nothing to play with. Yeah, people, we made changes.
It's your girl, Gena Heelz, and in each episode, I'm going to introduce you to gifted individuals from around the world. Come along as they share their stories and intimate moments while giving you, the viewers, an all-access pass. And here's my next guest. Hi, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Life and Entertainment with your girl, Gena Heelz. Today, I have a special guest, and he goes by the name of the artist Kali. Okay, he is an American actor as well as a rap artist who is signed with a record label and who has been signed since 2007. It is called P.I.M.P on RMM. Which is in affiliation with Snoop Dogg's The Return of DOGGSTYLE Records. Okay. Oof, oof, oof. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you the artist Kali. 3, 2, 1. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
Pretty good. What's going on?
Man, I'm just happy. I'm excited to have you on my show today.
Yeah, it's good to be on here.
Man, we have so much to talk about. So much to talk about.
Indeed.
First, I want to talk about what is the RMM and P.I.M.P on?
So P.I.M.P on is Powering My People. It's an entertainment company that was founded by Pomona Young out in Pomona, and RMM is Roderick Music Marketing, which is actually he was the music marketing behind Snoop Dogg's actually, so that's why it's in affiliation with The Return of DOGGSTYLE, because that's his label coming back out.
Oh wow! Now, how were you able to get signed with a company like that?
Well, so I've been working with several people that's been involved in the music industry for a while, and I had been trying to get signed, me and my rap partner. So it was just the right people introducing us to the right people, really. So when I got the call from my rap partner, like, come out, I'm because they were on tour at the time. P.I.M.P on ENT and RMM, they were all on tour. I wasn't signed yet. So in 2016, they had just went on tour. They had Twista and Bone and Too Short all come out. And I was like sitting back like, oh man, I was like waiting to sign. I was just watching everything unfold. And then as soon as like January came, I had already had my plane ticket already ready to go. So I flew out, and then I got introduced to some of the bosses of the label.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So I actually have some footage of P.I.M.P on ENT of you performing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have some people tuning into the live now. Samuel Garrett, Deshaun McBride, Anthony Shelton. Thank you guys so much for joining in on the live. We have the artist by the name of Thaartistkali. Actually, he is signed with P.I.M.P on ENT, which is in affiliation with Snoop Dogg, The Return of DOGGSTYLE Records, you guys. And also, for people that follow me, this gentleman is actually the voice to the intro of Life and Entertainment. So,
yeah,
you guys, this is my very good friend, and this is his video, so you guys check it out.
get off. Full water already cocked, ready for get off. Full water already cocked, ready for lift off. You know when you been itching for trouble, that's when the shit start. It get dark, ready to rumble when them sticks spark. Yeah, big wheels, this a hit squad. 2020 vision, tell them niggas come and get some. Raw with it, my life bitches better get one. Nose be in the business like it's dope to the mid drums. Yeah, real talk, we only deal with facts. You hit the boys and you can bet they're gonna hit you back. Four niggas strapped, riding grandpa's Cadillac. 51s did it, we got it flipped in and brought it back. We ain't stopping for the red lights. Fast cars, make it quick, living this a fast life. It's like we did it in the past life. Moments ours, you would do it all if it's your last night. We ain't stopping for the red lights. Fast cars, make it quick, living this a fast life. It's like we did it in the past life. Moments ours, you would do it all if it's your last night.
Wow, that was a hot video, the artist. Okay, that footage that was combined together. This is a fast life. Can you tell me a little bit about that and Pimp On coming soon? Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about that footage? You performing on stage with P.I.M.P Entertainment?
So wait, what song was that? Because I didn't even actually hear the song play itself. So.
Oh, okay. That was the video that you actually did the promo to be on my show.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, those were some shows that I had did when I was signed just earlier in my career here. So, you know, it was just a couple shows that I actually went on Loonies. One of those was like some Loonies footage. And then a couple of those, one of them was like a child show. It was like an under 18 and under. I think it was about 7 shows of footage in that.
Yeah, it was. So you travel a lot. Do you travel across the United States or internationally as well when you perform in these shows?
Well, currently I'm more on the Pacific Northwest, and I was traveling between like Washington, California. I went up to Oregon, and I've actually done a show down in Arizona.
Wow. Okay. And is this with the P.I.M.P label that you were doing?
Some of it was, and then some of it was, and then some of it was as an independent artist because I didn't re-sign in 2018. Okay. So, right. So that some doors open for me. And then as a signed artist, because there were so many people on that label too, you know, and I wanted to groom myself right as an artist because you find so many lost artists, you know, that by the time they're signed, the label is in control of everything and they're still trying to figure out, you know, like the masters of their music and, you know, how that stuff works. So, you know, not that I took everything and ran with it or anything, but I just stepped back and I was like, well, I need to learn this because, you know, well, like the name of the label is Pimp On. Not that that's what it means, but at the same time, you don't want to be pimped in this industry by anybody, you know? So, you know, it was a great deal. It was an 80-20 deal on that with the label. And like they got us on all the shows. We pay for nothing, you know. And you find a lot of underground artists, they're paying for shows. So there was all that experience. Right. And now that I can come back on my own, I know, you know, where to put my money in the marketing and, you know, look for those consultants and the agents, you know, get a good manager. Right. I'm learning those things. So that's kind of what I have in my, you know, that's what I'm working on. So that's in my forte. I don't know how to say it, but yeah.
So you're an independent artist now?
Yeah, I'm currently independent. Right. I didn't resign in 2018. I did get the call though. He said, "Yo, P, I want to resign you." You know, they wanted me to come back out to LA and stuff. And then I was going to go. I had ended up getting into this movie, The Alliance. That was the first movie that I was involved in. And like I said, I just was working. I was doing all this stuff for free at the same time. So I was like, well, who's going to get this money at the end of the day? The label's really going to pull off the top. I know what they're percent with the percent, but you think of these 360 deals, a lot of these guys, they be owing in the end. Like I said, I didn't want to be in depth. So I was kind of like, I'm gonna step back and I want to do these things on my own. So at the end of the day, if my career is in my own hands. So, and you have to learn the business too. It's not just that you can do it by yourself, but you got to know who you can partner with and start learning the ins and out of the industry. It's just a mandatory thing, or you'll be took. That's how it goes.
I agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that. We have more people tuning in. We have Tyrone Hurd joining the live. Smooth Poet T. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Please like and share. Subscribe to Life and Entertainment. Download Experience on Demand app. And also like and subscribe to my guy, the artist Kali. So
What's up?
So, okay. You're an independent artist. Now we all hear this now, all the people that want to get in. But you also do movies. So what movies have you appeared in besides The Alliance?
Okay, so right after The Alliance, I started working with the guy who filmed that movie, The Alliance. Mm-hmm. So, and then, like I said, when you in this industry, you either got to be hungry to learn. You can't come in definitely thinking that you know everything. So, and this is just coming from an upcoming artist. So I had to just, step back. And like I said, I kind of started, he started hitting me up, this guy who filmed it, and I kind of shadowed him. So I shadowed him to the first next movie after that, which kind of started sparking all these other roles that came. But he got me into Black Hole, and he was just kind of, giving me pointers. Because, like I said, you want to take an acting class and all of this. So there's a lot to learn. And I sat at his feet. He got me in Black Hole. And then after that, he was like, yo, they have another casting going on for this movie, The Token, at the University of Washington. So
wow.
I went for the casting. And at first they called me and was like, well, he called me and I was like, I don't think you got it. But then the director themselves called me and was like, yo, we want to cast you on this. You're really great. And I was like, oh, he must have been pulling my chain. So, because he was like, I don't want you to get a big head or anything. But then, so like I said, your career is all in your hands. And if you take this serious, and then, you got to be able to play too, because these guys, a lot of them are just like that. It's real life stuff. So, you're in a real environment with real people. So all this is all coming together. And then once The Token happened, and he had gave me that guidance, I actually reached out myself to Tim Carpenter, who just did the babies, one of the babies videos that he had. And I reached out to him for his movie, and I said, hey, if you're casting, I'm an up-and-coming artist. I'm hungry. I've been in some movies already as extras. I play some parts. So, what you got? And if you still got a part, put me in it. And then, he checked me out, and he came back and was like, yeah, I got you. I got something for you. I'm going to put you in the script. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it took about a good month because they were traveling too. Like, they were back and forth between LA. But this movie is called Mr. Bleachers. And it should be coming out 2020. They already released a trailer. You can find it on YouTube. Getting on that cast, and then and that is even leading me to more things too. So because I ended up going to a film festival and running into one of the other actors, and he's filming like his bio right now, and I'm writing my bio. So that kind of, meeting him, it kind of like set some things in motion that I met another director. So my own personal projects, is based around some of this filming, and, so there's like 5 movies total that I was in, and plus now the one I'm working on.
Okay, awesome. And Smooth Poet T, from the last live, we didn't get a chance to get to her question before the live was interrupted. But her question to you was, what advice do you have for new music artists starting in the business?
Okay, so there's a lot of things that I think artists should learn and first set out to do. Is establish their brand. They have to start establishing their brand. So that's like picking your name out, making sure your copyrights are in place, because you have to copyright your name as well as your music, and whatever you're writing. And And I would say don't give up your publishing. Don't give up any of your rights if you don't have to. You know, unless you're actually seeing the money, then I wouldn't sell yourself short. I think that's when they be talking about like selling your soul. It's because a lot of these people are accepting that, you know, they're coming with them like $1 million, and it looks really good when you see that money. And when you don't have it. But like I said, I'm more focused on the career part because I'm doing this out of love too. So I love my music and I want to see it go to the right place and not, you know, and not be owned in the end by someone else. I'll own my own music. So that's why I'm saying the publishing, copyrights, that's my advice. Do those things first, for sure.
Okay, so how does an artist go about getting their copyrights and their publishing? Like, is there a site or something they go to online, or do they go to a courthouse?
So for songwriters and publishers, they can sign up with like BMI, ASCAP. Those are the two of the biggest that's in the United States. And then there's the U.S. Government is where they want to go for the copyrights. Because that makes everything official right there. Once they copyright it right there, it's official. So.
Okay. Now that's
right.
Cool. So can you tell me a little bit more about the movie that you're in, Mr. Bleachers?
Oh, yes. Yeah, so that guy that I'm in the picture with right there, I'm actually can see that. So he's I want to call him the antagonist of the story, but you know, it's based on so if you're looking at the cover photo, that's the main character. That guy sitting, you know, right there, and the guy behind him is more of his like childhood friend, but it's imaginative. So, you know, you got to imagine this guy. He's living his whole life with an imaginary friend, and then it's just getting crazy because stuff starts happening around him. So, you know, right? So, right, and the role that I play, I actually play a thug. I'm a goon in this movie, so. Yeah, so I'm like in this trap house, and I don't want to give too much away, but
no, don't take away from the movie.
But yeah, I'm trying to get out the game. No, I'm like a barber, you know. I'm a thug barber. It's the role I play.
Oh, a thug barber, huh?
Right. So I cut hair and cut throats.
Yeah, like,
I don't
over somebody's head and stuff.
Right. but yeah, if they go watch the trailer, they'll see it. It's a good movie for sure, and it's something different, you know. So this fits into a whole genre of those thrillers. It's not really a horror, it's more of a thriller movie. Okay. So it'll be big. It'll be hitting Netflix, I'm sure, or Hulu.
Okay, Netflix and Hulu is where they can find it. What about your other movies? What platforms are they streaming on? Okay,
so the Alliance, it was just actually bought by Shimmy Media Group, so we're waiting to see where that goes, and that was like the first one. And you know, some of these projects take a minute. I'm not sure where the direction of some of these other movies is going. So the Alliance, we're just waiting to hear what platform, then I'll know a little bit more. But it was purchased, and you also know I have 9 songs on that. I mean, 5 songs on that soundtrack for that movie, The Alliance.
Oh wow!
Right, and yeah, so. The trailer for that one's on YouTube, and then Black Hole, right? They can find the trailer right now, the official trailer for that one, the official trailer for Mr. Bleachers.
Okay.
And then so the Token was filmed at Washington University, and it's more of a student body film. So it's like, you know, all the prestige, all the alpha betas and all that. They'll be watching it as they come through. You know. You know, it's more of a college film, so.
Wow, you're just a busy man. You have a lot of accolades. You have a lot of things going on top of you being an artist, independent now artist. You're an actor as well. You write your own music, and you're also writing for soundtracks too, like.
Yes. Yeah. So I met this guy at a wedding, and like I said, you know, I'm hungry. I just kind of shoot out there, but I was telling the idea of a book that, well, I didn't know that he was working on this game at all. So, well, I just was telling him, he said he was an author, and I was like, well, what do you think about this kind of book? And I was like, because I'm writing books too, you know, I'm just writing like short stories, like kid stories. And I asked him what he think about it, and I pitched my idea, and he just started laughing. He was like, man, that's awesome. Like that. I had never seen something like that. Like we would get the kids and like the parents to, it would be something that they would both get into because it's about like, you know, a little girl and her mom and like they're talking about the birth. So it's just kind of a little cartoon skit that I was writing. And then he started telling me that he was a writer, but he was the director of this video game that was coming out. And it was started out as a comic book first. And it's an old comic book. I actually can't mention what this is about because there was a confidentiality form chimed on this.
Okay.
So, right, because this is really big. It's like Sony, Disney. I'm not sure which major company actually is purchasing this. But I know that there's a confidentiality. I just have music on there. So I was allowed my band. I have a band. Oh. 3. There's 3 of us. Okay. There's me. There's a girl named, her name is Rivers, but she goes by, her name is Johnny. You can find her on Instagram. Okay. tha.artist.kali. You can find me on Instagram. And my other band member is Bugsy. You can also find him on Instagram as well. That's BEGS, Alex Johnson. And yeah, so we formed this band. And her father actually produced for he produced and did tracks for Destiny's Child and several others. Yeah. He's like a 10-time platinums producer. So we've been working with him. He's producing some of my beats and stuff like that. And a lot of, like I said, a lot of opportunities being thrown out there. So wow, with my band being able to write that soundtrack, that's amazing right there. That is
amazing. And I mean, congratulations to you on your success. Like that is amazing. Boy, thank you. What is it that you can't do?
I heard that. Right. Okay. Like, well, you know, that's what I'm saying. It starts within yourself. Your career is in your hands. So, that's you know, and then you know, because you know, what people think is a lot of times not exactly what they need to know, you know, and then the only way to find that out, if you got these consultants, just like the one you had on your show earlier. So I understand when she's like, well, I want to be paid for the work that I do. And I totally get that because I feel the same way. But in order to get to that point, you got to know the information. So you got to talk to someone else. So I'm always, like I said, seeking greater heights. That's how I got the songs on the Alliance soundtrack. I actually talked to him when I got to the set. The first thing I was like, you know, I was talking to him and then I was like, man, I'm really feeling this script. You know, I'm like, you know, I don't know if you got music going on this or how are you doing it with your soundtrack? Cause I know they always get people that they have a team that they work with, you know? So, but I was just shooting out there, you know, cause you never know. Closed mouths don't get fed, right?
You never know.
So. And he was like, you know what? Tell you what, I got all these artists because he's filmed with some of the same people from the label. Mm-hmm. So some of the same artists that I was signed with that's up and coming is also in that movie. Pomona Dre, there's Krim, you know, a lot of us in this movie. So, and there's like weightlifters, models. It's a lot of different people that's involved in this movie. So it's a pretty big movie. And like I said, so to hear that none of the other artists pitched any music, he was like, "You the only one." He's like, "Well," he's like, "Let me see what you got." So I just started sending him songs.
Went from there.
Yeah.
From there. Amazing. Hi, you guys. Thank you for tuning in on the live. We have Xavier Tillman on the live, Johnny Wayne, Tim Richardson, Kid Dope, Ruby Jackson. Thank you guys for tuning in on the live. Again, like and subscribe to Life and Entertainment. Download the app, Experience on Demand. The Artist Kali's website is above. Make sure you click on that, like and subscribe, and show your support to him as well. I don't know whether to just say it all the time. The Artist Kali, or should I just say Kali or the artist?
Well, I go by both. I am like, so when I signed, I went under Kali.
Okay.
Right. So for any up and coming artists, if you don't know this, when you sign up, you can register several different names. They actually put 5 on there if you have it. If not, you know, or you always can come back. So I was on the underground scene and I went under a different artist name. So I went under Soldier 2YK and I have battles that I was in because I was on the website too. So with like Spike Lee was hosting this website.
Okay.
And it's since crashed, but it was called Gold Mike at the time.
Okay.
And right. So I had some experience in the battling field and, you know, like I said, you know, I have several different artist names. So Kali is one of them. So it's fine too. Or the Artist Kali. So right. I just changed it to that.
And everything too. Like the 8 Mile and stuff. I didn't know that.
Right. Yeah. Wow. I had went to some live battles and then they, you know, a lot of times now, you know, online, this virtual reality things that's happening through the internet is where definitely where it's at. So some of that stuff is happening too, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was your motivation growing up that inspired you to want to be an entertainer?
Well, I had always looked up to one of my favorite artists is Tupac. I grew up listening to him, and you know, he inspired me because he actually did music and movies himself. And I actually didn't see myself acting before this, but he inspired me to really write my feelings just because of how much energy he brought to the scene of music. So he definitely influenced me because when I was growing up, he was he was rapping then before he got killed. So I just kind of felt that energy, and I was like, that's the same kind of energy I want to bring, through my own music. So I started reshaping. I had never really wrote a rap. I was writing poetry actually, and then I started writing raps. It just kind of developed over time.
Oh wow! And what was life like for you on your journey to success? Like to start off and to be where you are now.
Well, it's definitely been a long road. Many doors were closed too, for sure. I've met some radio people that, I thought was going to put me on, but didn't, like I said, just expecting free stuff from people. You can't expect that. You got to be hungry and still work towards it. So I just kept going. And no matter what happened, the door that was closed, I was arrested too back in 2004. I was incarcerated, and then I was arrested again. I was a juvenile getting arrested, and then I was an adult getting arrested. So, so those are definitely some hiccups, and it's kind of that same push that I have to get through all of that stuff, and I have that in my music. So that's kind of why I keep going.
And I do have a sample of your music now. So again, I'm going to update the people that's tuning in on the live. Ladies and gentlemen, I have tha.artist.kali. He is an American actor and rap artist who signed with a record label in 2017 with P.I.M.P on RMM, which he already explained later in the live what RMM was, but that ended. So do you want to explain what RMM is one more time?
So RMM is Roderick Music Marketing, and he's the music manager that basically goes around to the radio stations and he takes your music out. That's what that company does. Okay. P.I.M.P on was the stable, and then being an affiliation with the Return of DOGGSTYLE, the label of SNOOP's. So going with man, and you know what? Like I said, I didn't get to go on tour, but just watching everyone else, like I said, it just seeing all that, and then that door didn't close, but just not re-signing, and I don't want to call that an obstacle, but seeing those guys on tour and knowing that could be my own future, so.
And it is. So I'm gonna play a sample of your music now, and it's called "Blood in My Eyes." Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys hang on to your seats. We're getting ready to play this video of the artist Kali. Blood in My Eyes.
Yeah, this is real life, the front lines. We don't got a front for these punks. So when it comes time, no hard feelings, you pieced up in this beef shit. We about to go, no sleep. If you ain't eat yet, no rest for the living. We up against the odds. Passion still driven to get it. I'm trying to ball like we die at any moment. Eyes up on the prize, wanna seize before it's over. I'm only getting stronger, got the world up on my shoulders. As good as it gets. A long road, some big shoes to fill if they fit. A soldier to go the mile, a savage up on the brow. They know we went the distance, I knew I would hold it down. Came up out the bottom, I got it out the mud. A hoodlum story difference is different for every thug. There's blood up on my hands, street life is what it was. We was caught up in the jam for power, money, and love. Straight up the bottom, yeah, we were built for this. We straight with the drama, my niggas built for this. We tougher than nails, yeah, it's ridiculous. Going the dishes, yeah, we were built for this. Straight up the bottom, yeah, we was built for this.
Okay, so the first clip that I played was Blood in My
Blood in my eyes.
Can you tell me the motivation piece behind that?
Well, so I'm writing this bio. So this whole CD will stem from the book, and the book is just based on, you know, my life from growing up. Like I said, I got incarcerated at 15. That was actually 94, 95. I went to YA in California. And so Blood in My Eye, I represented the blood gang coming out of San Diego. So always, it's not that because you know, you look at your homies as your friends. It's kind of how you growing up, and it, you know, when you're running with these guys, you don't see them any differently. And then when I was incarcerated, I just started thinking like it was like this thorn in my eye in a way, you know what I'm saying? But because that was what my vision was, that was all I saw was that gang life. So, and everything that had happened in between there with all the blood that was spilled. So I thought that title right there would have an impact of, you know, just saying that, you know, that blood right there, that lives that was lost, and people that I'm no longer even, you know, friends with, or, you know, I can't see anymore. So, you know, it's just that deepness of this, you know, and it started from when I was a really early kid. You know, I think I was about 7, 8, you know, so I just started hanging out, and a lot of times, like I said, you just get in this lifestyle, and that's where this whole book stems from. This whole soundtrack will be, you know, with the book, and then I'm pitching it for the movie. So all this, you know, right.
So what was the turning point for you? What was it, you know, from what I just heard from you, you know, you were going through a lot of difficulties in your life. So what was the turning point for you that made you say, hey, I'm going to turn this into something productive. I am going to be, you know, what it is. And I mean, you are that dude. You have a lot of great things going on, build for it tough, and you have a very bright future ahead of you. So what was the change?
Well, I can definitely say when I was incarcerated, as a juvenile, I mean, I know I went back, but hold on a minute. Let me explain what happened. So, it wasn't intended for that, but you know, the system makes it like that too. So, but let me get to the turning point. So anyway, I was incarcerated, right? And then, you know, when you're from these gangs, you going in prison, and like it was a juvenile prison, but it was rowdy because these is young men, so it was all fighting. You know, it wasn't like the older prison where guys is like, well, you got some older guys that don't want to get involved in nothing, and so they're standing themselves. Now you in juvenile, there is no real stand to yourself. So I ended up getting involved in a whole bunch of shit because of one of my friends, you know, one of my homeboys, who was a short timer, and I had all this time on my back, but just because I was in the lifestyle so heavy that whatever he did, we rode together, you know, so I was catching all this time when he was about to go home, you know what I'm saying? He was a short timer. So, and I'm like, I had 10 years on my back for a real serious case. You know, I had attempted murder. So I had, way more time I was looking at than he was. So as they was piling this time on me, I had just nothing but time to sit and, you know, and start thinking about what I wanted to do with my future. And it wasn't even just music. I was writing music during this time, and my music during that time reflected the life I was living because it was all gang related music. It was all like, you know, riding, busting on my enemies. And then when I came to a point, I was like, damn, I'm tired of fighting in here. Like, that's all we doing in here. You know, I'm like, I want to get back out and eat a pizza again, because you can't have that freedom when you in there, you know? Right. So I wanted life versus where I was at. So I met these dudes in there. They was like Muslims, and, you know, they were involved in a lot of different things. Some Panthers in there, you know, so I was hanging around these guys, and these was the guys that was like reading, and, you know, they wanted more of their lives, you know? So I started hanging out with them and reading more, finding out who I was as a black man, you know, realizing I was lost out here. And then I was like, okay, so I realized that the energy the energy that I could be putting towards something positive is what I could be doing with this shit versus being in here, because this is what's going to happen if I keep doing that or dying, you know? So there's a choice you're going to make, and I made it. And I told my homeboy, I said, I'm done with this. You know, y'all know where my heart's at, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go back to school. I was like, I'm just gonna do what I need to do. So I started doing it because, like I said, if you willing to bust on your enemies and go to jail and fight with a cop, if you willing to do all that stuff, then you should be willing to fight with the same amount of energy for your career, for your job, for your family.
That's right.
To clean up your community. We should have that same energy. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, well, it's real. I mean, it's real. I did both sides. So, and now I realized what I did. And my grandmother, everybody was getting old. And my grandmother was like, she passed now, but she was like, I just want you to do, she just told me, I want you to do good, baby. That's all I want of you. And I was in prison, like, damn, like, here I am, so.
Here you
like
are.
I said,
an American actor in multiple films coming out on Netflix.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Went to college. I changed it around. They would never believe it.
Okay, you writing soundtracks, movies, books, and some of everything. You are the epitome of an overcomer, someone that has did a complete 180 to live the best version of yourself. And I am just so proud of you. I commend you and I uplift you in everything that you do. So I
appreciate it, for real. Thank you. Thank you, for sure.
You're awesome.
It's good hearing that. For sure. It's good hearing that. That reminds me when I came home, that's what my grandmother said too. I came home and I had actually my diploma from high school, and then I had attended some college. So she was like, "Dang." She was like, "I'm just so proud to see the person you was that had scratched your nickname in my table to here you are." I was like, "Let me get the you need me to vacuum your floor? I love you, Grandma. I'm sorry this ever what I put you through, so yeah." Same with moms, too. So mom's still here and I can still do something to, to show her that I appreciate the sweat and blood that she shared for me. So like I said, this whole book is not just gang blood, but it's everything. It's the blood and sweat that people share for me to be where I'm at. Cause there was people in my corner. If it wasn't for them, I think that, maybe the encouragement to keep going wouldn't have been there, and that's from the people I met, from my friends. Bugsy, shout out to him, shout out to my mom and my brother. They always been in my corner speaking positivity into my life. So I definitely appreciate it, for sure.
So can we get the name of this book? Or is that
it'll be the same name as the soundtrack. It's gonna be called Blood in My Eyes.
Blood in My Eyes. Okay. Ooh, that's so juicy, y'all. Ooh,
it's the story of a hoodlum, right. Born in Cleveland. And then I grew up from like 9, 10 years old in San Diego, California, between there and LA, running with Bloods, and then getting incarcerated at 15, and I bounced back.
Wow.
So I survived that. I was homeless and everything. You would never believe that shit. I was homeless, carrying a backpack at 15 with all my stuff in it.
Well, look at that. You know what? And I just love you, and I love your success story. Like, that touches me because I'm also a counselor at a behavioral health institution, and I have kids that I work with that were homeless at those ages.
Right.
I find myself with that bleeding heart. Like, I want to adopt all of them because they always say, "Can I come home with you?" And I'm like, "Yes," but I'm scared because you never know. But I always end up furnishing them with all the supplies that they need.
Right.
Those are my children. You know what I mean?
I heard
and I want to make sure that the impression that I leave on them is a positive one, because at that age, you're so fragile that, whoever comes in during that time can make a lifelong impression on your life and towards the behavior that you have. So that's one reason why I keep saying how proud I am of you and your strength to change it all around. And I understand that like in 2018, you started that new venture. So was that the book? Was that writing towards the soundtrack? What was the new venture in 2018?
Okay, yeah. So, I had started filming all those movies in 2018, and then I had went down to Oregon. We drove down there, and from where I'm live, I think that's like a 6-hour drive. But shoot, I drove down there in a day because when they messaged me, I had been communicating with like their casting department, and so I got cast on the Hulu. I'm on this show on there on Shrill on season 2.
Shrill?
Yeah, I'm on Shrill, right? On
Okay,
the
y'all make sure y'all check it out on Hulu.
yeah,
Shrill. Check it
yes,
out,
and I'm
you
also
guys.
so yeah. So I got cast on there, and the first emails was like, we want you to be out here for like 3 days, and like it's 3 days of filming, and we're gonna be filming to like midnight, you know. So I was like, damn. So I was like, you know, and I live, like I said, 6 hours from Oregon. So when I got the email back, like, well, they want me, and then like they gave me the dates, but then there's like subject to change. So I finally ended up down there, and like I drove down there in the day to be in the show that same day. Funny, but shit, like I said, there should be nothing stopping you when you that hungry, and that was it right there. So, and like I said, now more things are unfolding because I ended up at the film festival after that, and I was just taking my acting career more serious. So 2017 was more music, and then 2018 was just like I just started. Like I said, I appeared in 5 movies. Plus, so now that so there's that show, and I'm having a mind blank, but there's actually like 2 more shows I appeared on, and they're not as serious, but one of them's a YouTube show, and I'm just having a mind blank. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I have
But
those all the time. I call them brain farts.
right. Dang. And another one was like a 420 show, JJ's Kitchen. It was 420. And, you know, we just went out, kind of smoked, and we just talked about like, you know, cause he's a host of a show, and he was a big lawyer in New York, and he had kind of been on drugs, coke, and like ran away from his wife with a prostitute. So we were just kind of telling our life stories and smoking, you know, so it was that kind of show. And then
a documentary or something, kind of like.
Yeah. So that's what I'm told. Right. So I'm working on this documentary, and that's actually, I've been working on that more than 2018 though, but I got more serious in it. I had a radio interview, and I just started talking. I was actually talking about the comic book. The name of the comic book is called Shatter. I can say that much. It's called Shatter. It was written in 1984. They're turning that into a video game. And I don't know what the rest of the deal is. I'm waiting on my contact, the director, to hit me. But he said that they're pitching, they want it to be either a movie or a show. This character.
Now in the video game, because that was going to be my next question, because I know that you're a writer too, and you got like a lot of productions that you wrote and co-produced. Are you going to be having music on this on the video game, or are you just assisting in the makeup of it?
So I was saying earlier, so this has already been written by like 2 guys. One of the writers is from like Black Panther, so they already kind of have the writing team on there already. And the other guy that's doing like the art and all that, he did like Green Lantern. My part of this is just the soundtrack. That was what my band wrote all that music for.
Oh, fancy!
Right. Right. So yeah, we submitted 13 songs. But out of 13 songs, I think we did 11 of them. My band.
Oh, wow. Congratulations to you. I mean, that's good.
Yes. So we're waiting on contracts, so it should be all coming down too. So we're just waiting on that.
Okay.
And then, like I said, I did the Alliance. So shout out Robert L. Butler. I got 5 songs on there. Okay. And this 2018 just picked up, and it's just like shooting off.
Snowball effect. You just
right.
Now fast forward, here we are in 2020. What is the current situation now?
So right now I'm working on. Well, everyone's kind of quarantined, and like due to my job, I'm actually out and about. Thanks to Sendell. I don't know if I can put their name on here, but yeah, I actually work. So I make a product for this fish farm stuff. So I'm working like through the FDA actually. Believe it or not, I got some training through them. So which is good. I mean, I've heard Steve Harvey say he worked over 100 jobs before. So I'm out here I'm doing that right now. But on my with my career, I'm writing this book. I'm pretty far in the book. I'm actually almost finished with it because I want to release it this year in the soundtrack. So, but here's the other thing. So I have that song I did for you, and I've done several of those now. where you said like no one wanted to really touch it or work on it or, whatever they were asking, and I just jumped on it because I felt the project and I was like, man, I would love to be partaking in your show and just to, write the song for it because I like what you're doing. So, and I did that I had met up with like 91.7 FM out here. I went to the re-up show with DJ Defquan and DJ Note. And after I was over, I had fun in the studio. So I went through something fun together and I was like, yo, I just want to hit this track, man, to you, man. Just if y'all don't do nothing with it, just enjoy it. Just a shout out to y'all, man, for showing me love and bringing me in the studio. So, and I was doing a fundraiser for, kids that was, homeless and, stuff like that. So that's what that's where I was in the studio for. But they showed me a lot of love personally as an artist. So I wrote them one and I want to take all that and throw it on its own individual project too. So there's that. I have several of those going.
Wow. Whew. Woo. You got
a lot of stuff. It's a lot of writing.
Oh my goodness. So, we reached to the part where we want to talk about it. Is there anything additional that you would like to share? And in closing, I just want to know, why do you do what you do? What inspired you to continue doing all these great things that you're doing now?
Well, for sure, I can say that my children is one of the biggest factors in my life. When I had my son, that changed my whole life. My whole perspective even on life just changed. Cause like when he came into the world, I was like, dang, I have something even more to live for now that he's in the world. It wasn't just cause I had my own goals as far as, being in music. But when he was born, I was like, wow, I have a whole nother reason to just be alive, period. This whole push for anything that I do is for my kids. So then I had my daughter with my beloved fiance and that just definitely increased what I'm doing now. Cause all I can think about now is like, damn, I want to put them in school. I want to see them go to college, and outside of that, what influences me the most is that what I came from as a juvenile, from being 15 and being incarcerated for attempted murder. Because they gave me, when they sentenced me, they gave me juvenile life, 10-year sentence. So I was, from 15 to 25 and going through all of that, never being even incarcerated before. So going through that right there and then coming out, all I could think about is the kids who don't have the parents that's there for them, who are either running these streets, not going to school, on drugs, because I did a lot of drugs, sold drugs, and that's all the stuff I could think about. And I would like to make an impact on them. If my music can make that impact, if talking to them can make that impact, that's what I want to do. So I definitely am driven by that. That's a passion. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So any words of encouragement that you would like to tell others, as well as any aspiring artists or entrepreneurs or actors, any encouraging words to assist them in moving forward in their career?
Yeah, I definitely want to say that just, keep going. Don't let anyone deter you from what you want to do. Especially if you believe in yourself, because that's what it takes. That's where it starts. That's it. That's all I want to say right there. Believe in yourself, because the man who thinketh that he can will.
Ooh, that's hot. The man who thinketh that he can will.
That's it. No excuses. Hey, you know what? So when I say man, I mean mankind, period. Man and woman. If you want to do it, if you believe you could do it, you will achieve it.
I love it. I love it. And I thank you so much for being a guest on Life and Entertainment.
I appreciate you having me. You the best.
Thank you for being the voice to my intro. Also, thank you for the song. I just want to give so much gratitude to you. And I just want to just show appreciation also that I'm proud of you. And you keep up the great work.
Oh, thank you. You too. Hey, you keep shining that light.
I've been trying to do a little something. Come on.
All right, you doing your thing over there. Hey, so those artists, you know, they know that they got a good person in their corner if they seeking you out and, you know, coming to you, you know, so. And you know, like, I don't even remember how we met, but it's been great. That's all I can say. And you've been very supportive. And you know, and I try to show that same support because I believe you support who supports you. So, and you know, and on that same note, I just love seeing my people make it, man, because knowing where we came from, hey, I don't even have to know you. But if I see you on TV, and I'm like, that's another black person that made it, you know, so I'm going to be happy and clap for you. So, you know, that's what I'm doing for you, Gena Heelz. So stay up. Life and entertainment, man. That's what's at.
Thank you so much. Love you. Peace.
Peace. Love you too. Gone.
Go.
Rap my city. Y'all know I ball with the best, raw like a vet. You can't win them all, nigga, y'all wanna bet? Caution, young boy, watch his steps. Going for more, never settle for less. Just for the kill, we know how to impress. They ask where I'm from and what city I rep. It's not where you came, I just stay where I'm at. The place I was born, I was pushed to the max. Yeah, life in the city, life get hard when the fight turn gritty. Got a new focus, these dudes, man, they petty. Don't like drama, they want it, I'm ready. Walk through the storms where it gotten more heavy. The further we go, the road got more unsteady. Road on our shoulders, we go for confetti. I'ma go hard when I ball if they let me. I am a force, I am a lion, I am a king, I am a giant, I am a father, I am a titan. Born in the city, they set it on fire. Burn the place down like they did in the riots. I am a lover, but I am a fighter. Say to the flame when I'm sparking a lighter. My hood is a vest when they guess the attire. Rap my city. We stomp these grounds, I love my town. I rap my city. We stomp these grounds, I love my town. I rap my city. We stomp these grounds, I love my town. I rap my city. Ladies